If making even simple decisions seems overwhelming lately, it may not be because you're indecisive. If you found yourself saying things like, I don't know what's wrong with me, or I just don't feel like myself anymore, you're not alone. I'm Michelle, and I help women in midlife come back to themselves through small, steady steps that rebuild self-trust. And today I want to talk about something many women experience, but don't always have the words for: feeling disconnected from themselves. For years, you have been making decisions: what everyone's going to eat, what activity the kids will join, which appointments need to be scheduled, what needs to be bought, what needs to be handled, who needs what, right? You have spent decades managing life, and not just your life, everyone's life. And after years of making decisions for everyone else, something interesting begins to happen. You become really good at knowing what everyone else needs, but you stop practice knowing what you get used to responding to everyone else's preferences, their schedules, their emotions and expectations, so much so that your own voice gets lower and quiet. Not because it disappeared, because it stopped getting airtime. Then one day someone asked, what do you want, to do, to go, where to eat? And instead of having an answer, your mind immediately starts thinking about what everyone else would want first. Or maybe the simplest decision becomes suddenly overwhelming because you've spent years making choices through the lens of everyone else's eyes. It's decision fatigue, ladies. I think we often misunderstand what disconnection feels like. We assume that means something's wrong with us, that we're the ones that change, that we've become someone that we don't even recognize anymore. But what if that's not what's actually happening? You know, my younger granddaughter of the sisters has a quieter personality, and my older granddaughter is more outgoing and expressive. Sometimes when someone asks the younger one question, the older one will jump in with the answer, right? And not because she's trying to be unkind to her sister, it's simply become their pattern. And sometimes I wonder if the quieter one has had like enough opportunity to discover what she really likes before someone else answers for her. I feel like that might be what happened to us. For so many years, the voices and responsibilities and expectations and schedules of everyone else became so loud that your own voice gets interrupted, not intentionally. And it doesn't happen overnight, just gradually. So feeling disconnected from yourself isn't usually because you've changed. It's because you have stopped hearing yourself. Remember listening to the radio station driving around town back in the day? One that's slowly losing its signal. The station's still there, but the music's fading or playing in the background. That's the connection that has become weak. That's often what happens by the time we reach midlife. Your preferences, your needs, your desires, your voice, they're all still there. You just haven't been tuned in for a while. If this conversation is resonating with you, I share gentle reminders and simple ways to reconnect with yourself each week in my newsletter, the Simple Stride Snapshot. It's a weekly pause that helps you come back to yourself without a lot of pressure to change or to keep up. I'll leave the link below if you'd like to join us. Today, I wanted to offer you a simple stride to try right now or later at your convenience, but it's super simple. The next time someone asks you, what do you want? Whether it's to eat, to go do, whatever, pause. Pause before you answer, before you automatically defer, before you think about everyone else. Pause long enough to check in with yourself. Then answer. Answer for you. And if no one asks you today, ask yourself. Ask yourself what sounds good to me right now. Not what should I do, not what's most productive, not what everyone else needs. What sounds good to me? And you don't have to change your whole life because of the answer. You don't have to overhaul your routines. You don't have to do it perfect. Just start by hearing yourself. Keep it simple. And if the answer feels manageable, choose one small way to honor it. Do the thing, eat the food, go to the place, listen to you. Because self-trust isn't built through big promises. It's built when you notice what you need and you respond in a way that your nervous system can safely receive. And that's how reconnecting begins. One small act of listening, one act of follow through, one reminder that you matter too. And if you've been feeling disconnected from yourself for a while, there's a good chance you've also started wondering if somehow you lost yourself. That's what we're talking about in the next video. If you don't feel like yourself right now, I want you to know that doesn't automatically mean that there's something wrong. It doesn't mean that you've disappeared. It may simply mean that you have spent so many years listening to everyone else that you haven't heard your own voice in a while. And the beautiful thing about that, your voice is still there. You don't have to become someone new. You don't have to reinvent your life. You simply need to begin listening again, and then little by little responding to what you hear, because that's how trust is rebuilt. The hits home. Continue with the next video in the series, where we're talking about what it really means to feel lost in midlife and why you may not be lost at all. If you would like support as you continue coming back to yourself, be sure to subscribe and join me. I'll see you next.